I'm making this tutorial series for my home game, but I figured it'd be useful to everybody out there. On Reddit and on the Discord, I've seen a lot of people who are coming to TTRPGs and Foundry specifically for the first time because they're huge fans of the Cosmere. So I figured I would start with this first video about the UI, and I'm putting this out the day before because I imagine lots of people are going to want to have things running as soon as possible. Some people may be even taking time off to work on it. Later, once I get the actual modules installed, I'll show you how to create characters, how to do simple combat, and a few other things. So when you first arrive, you'll see the title here, whatever your GM has decided to call the room. This picture will probably look different with the official materials, and you'll see that the next time that I make one of these, I'll show what it looks like. If you see this, that means I have another game loaded. Let me know if you need to get in and I can change the game if I'm not using a different one at the moment. But you'll come here and there will be a series of names if your GM has already created the characters. If not, there will only be the Game Master and they'll need to come in and create the characters. I'm going to go ahead and hit Game Master and there will be a password. A few other things to take a look at here if your GM has set it up. Under next section, it will show the date and time of the next session. It'll show how many players are currently inside. And then here, they may have a description of either what this game is, or what you guys are going to do next, or what you did previously. It's kind of free form. They can do anything they want in there. I'm going to go ahead and join in. Now, normally the Game Master would have a password, but since this is just for me testing the beta, let me clear this out. So the Bridge Knight adventure was a beta adventure that we had, but this is not really about the adventure so much. Again, like I said, I'll be coming in once the official modules are there. This is to show you guys the UI looks like. So it'll either look like this, or this might be shrunken down. If it is, you can just click here. This first window here has all the chat messages. Now you can, but mostly what you're going to be seeing in here are the results of dice rolls, the results of damage dealt, and any other kind of information that your character sheet would be giving out to the rest of the players. They would see it all there. I'm not 100% sure what the Metalworks folks have done, but I do know in Tales of the Valiant, if you type here, it will show like a little speech bubble above your character if your character happens to be on the game board. Down here, these are macros. These are for advanced users. I do believe Metalworks will have some macros that will do some complicated dice rolls, but you don't necessarily have to use these to play with Foundry. Here you'll have a list of all the players, and they can set their name. If I go here to user configuration, they can set their name. They can set their avatar. They can basically look at the files in here. They can pick what their colors are. In here, you can't. It's not easy to see where the entry field is, but if you want to put your pronouns in here, you can put it. And if you control a player character, they would be there. Then you just hit save. Up here, most of these will not be visible to the players. Usually you'll only see whichever one has the target, which is the one that your GM wants you to see. Normally, when you first come in, it'll be this landing page here, menu over here. When you guys are in combat, it'll show up in here. I'm specifically not going to do combat right now because Metalworks showed off that they have created battles, and I want to make sure we're showing the latest thing. This is just more about getting you familiar with the UI. And here are scenes. I've mostly only been here as the GM, but this is where I would kind of pick some of these scenes here if I didn't want to use this navigation up there. The most important thing for you is the little dude icon here, because the actors, those are the player characters. So I'm going to click on the pre-gens because since this was both available as a beta and will be available tomorrow, I feel these are safe. So one of these characters would be assigned. They would have a blank character here that you'll be able to fill out, and we'll do character creation as a future video. So if you click on it, it would load the character sheet. In the beta, they look like this. According to what I've seen on Reddit, this is not too far off from how it will look when the official thing comes out tomorrow. Items here, if there are items that the GM asks you to pull onto your character sheet, they would be there. Journal. So journals serve two purposes. For the GM, the journal contains the adventure. Just really quickly, see something like this here. This will tell you, this is how you play the game. The GM will basically have this here. This is equivalent to having the book open if you guys are playing at the table. But your GM can also do something very cool. They can create journals that you can use, and then you can write your notes either in character or as the player, and you can take notes and have your notes kind of all put together with to save them off somewhere else. The roll tables, most likely you won't come into this page. Card stacks, unless... Oh, I was actually told by the folks at Metalworks they don't have the cards at this time. If your GM has music, you can control the volume here, so you can actually hear what the GM is saying. The last most important thing for you as a player would be the compendium packs. So in here, some subset of what is in this column will be available to you as the player, and this is how you'll be able to read all the books that come with the game. So in here will be the intro guide to Roshar, the bigger, like the little pamphlet, and then the bigger one. And so as a player, you'd be able to click on these and use as if we were at the table all sharing the books together. And this is how you can kind of see what you want to be, what race, what path you want to take, all those things. And you'll also, and I'll show this when we do the character creation video, once we actually have the stuff tomorrow, you would open those up and drag stuff onto your sheet to create your character. Over here we have the controls that you'll be using as well. So this will allow you to select your token, pick your person. This one here is to select your targets. So if you're attacking somebody, you target them in Foundry to measure distance. From the beta rules, I don't believe that combat in the Cosmere is as rigid as D&D or Pathfinder, where you're doing 5-foot squares. I think it's more of a close, medium, far type of thing. But this could be useful if you're trying to figure out those distances, say for a ranged weapon. Here are some templates you can draw. This is very important in D&D. I don't know how important this is going to be in the Cosmere in terms of be like an area of effect. Like if you're playing D&D, there may be a cylinder that affects a certain area or a cone or whatever. These tile things most likely you will not use. You can draw on there. So this is great if you're trying to make like a plan, like you guys are making a plan of how you're going to go against the singers or whatever it is you want to do. And then most of the rest of these are for the GM. So those are the basics. That's what you need to know when you first come in. That's what all these symbols mean, what they look like. And I'll see you in the next one where we go over some character creation. Bye.